He was a boy even stronger than Aquaman Arthur. No matter how badly he got hurt, the moment he touched water, his wounds healed instantly. The water even gave him incredible power. In critical moments, he could control the flow of water and create an unbreakable shield. Even attacks from demons could not get through. And this boy was Percy, the son of Poseidon. Legend says the world was ruled by three gods. Zeus ruled the sky, Hades ruled the underworld, and Poseidon ruled the sea. But even gods could not resist temptation. They often came down to the human world and had children with mortals. That was how the demigods were born, and Percy was the most special one of them all. But at this moment, he had no idea who he really was. He did not understand why he could breathe underwater for so long, until one day, he and his best friend Grover visited a museum, and the gears of fate finally started turning. His teacher suddenly pulled Percy into a small room alone. Before he could react, she climbed onto the shelves. The next second, her body twisted into something terrifying. She stared directly at Percy, and demanded to know where the lightning bolt was.
You stole the lightning bolt!
I don't know what you're talking about!
Give it to me!
The Fury grabbed Percy by the throat, and lifted him into the air. Just as Percy was about to lose consciousness, Grover and the museum curator rushed in.
Release him or I swear I'll tear you to pieces!
No one expected the crippled-looking curator to scare the Fury away with just a few words, but even now, Percy was completely confused. He thought everything he saw might have been an illusion, but the curator told him the truth. A few days earlier, Zeus had summoned Poseidon. Someone had stolen the most powerful weapon in Olympus, the lightning bolt, and Zeus believed the thief was Percy. He blamed Poseidon's son for everything. Zeus gave one final warning. If the lightning bolt was not returned in 14 days, Percy would be dragged into the underworld forever. The moment the news spread, monsters flooded into the human world. Everyone was searching for the lightning bolt. The curator gave Percy no time to think. He immediately told Grover to escort Percy and his mother away. Before leaving, the curator handed Percy a strange pen, but Percy could not understand why his best friend had suddenly become his protector. Upon returning home, his mother hurriedly took him away to escape. Only then did Percy learn the truth. He was the son of Poseidon, and the only safe place left was Camp Half-Blood, the final shelter for every demigod. But halfway through the drive, danger arrived. A minotaur suddenly dropped from the sky. The car was flipped over instantly. Glass shattered everywhere. The entire vehicle twisted out of shape. Grover finally stopped hiding. He revealed his true form as a satyr, then kicked the window open. The three of them ran toward camp with everything they had. Hope was right in front of them. Then suddenly, a giant hand reached out. Percy's mother was lifted into the air, and within seconds, her body turned to dust right in front of Percy's eyes. At that moment, Percy completely broke down, driven by rage and grief. He pulled out the pen from the curator. The pen instantly transformed into a sharp sword. Percy charged straight at the minotaur, but the difference in strength was overwhelming. One hit sent him flying backward. Just as the monster prepared its final attack, Percy dodged to the side. The minotaur's horn slammed into a tree trunk. The creature struggled violently, and even ripped off its own horn. Percy seized the opportunity. He grabbed the broken horn, and drove it straight into the minotaur. A terrifying scream echoed through the forest. Then the monster collapsed, and Percy passed out from exhaustion. When he woke up again, he saw Grover's satyr form clearly. Only then did Percy realize everything was real. His mother was gone, and Camp Half-Blood was a sanctuary built for demigods. There, Percy met Annabeth for the first time. The girl was beautiful and cold, and she was also the daughter of Athena. But after looking at her for 1 second too long, as a result, in a training competition, Anna gave Percy a real hard time. Just when everyone was mercilessly mocking him, bruised and humiliated, Percy crawled toward the river. The moment his hand touched the water, something unbelievable happened. The wounds on his body started healing at visible speed. At the same time, a powerful force awakened inside him. The next second, Percy fought like a completely different person. Within just a few moves, Annabeth was completely overpowered, and from that moment on, she finally saw him differently. That night, the two finally let go of their hostility. But while they were drinking together, the campfire suddenly exploded upward. Inside the flames, a terrifying figure slowly emerged. It was Hades. The moment he appeared, a terrifying pressure filled the entire camp, and he wanted the lightning bolt too. Hades warned Percy directly. If he wanted to see his mother again, he had to bring the lightning bolt to the underworld. Percy still had no idea where the weapon was, but after learning his mother was alive, he knew he had to go, even if the path led straight into hell. Annabeth and Grover decided to go with him, but first they needed a way into the underworld. Under Annabeth's guidance, the group found Luke, a descendant of Hermes. After hearing their plan, Luke gave Percy a pair of flying shoes and a special shield. He also warned them that entering the underworld was easy, but escaping alive required 3 magical pearls hidden in the human world. Without them, not even Zeus could leave the underworld safely. The three followed the map to the first pearl's location, an eerie garden shop. Grotesque statues stood everywhere, and the fear on Grover's face made everyone realize the truth instantly. They had entered Medusa's territory. The woman slowly removed her scarf, revealing countless snakes twisting on her head. She was Medusa herself. Legend says anyone who looked into her eyes would instantly turn to stone. Terrified, everyone shut their eyes tightly, but Medusa's voice carried a deadly temptation.
Sneak
woman opened her eyes for only a second. Her body immediately started turning to stone. Annabeth was trapped by the stone arm as well, and the person Medusa hated most was a child of Athena, because Athena was the reason for her curse. Just as Annabeth was about to give in, Percy suddenly spoke up. That single moment interrupted Medusa's plan. The moment she learned Percy was Poseidon's son, her expression changed completely. Long ago, she and Poseidon shared a past that could never be mentioned again, but all she received in return was betrayal and a curse. Now the son of her enemy had walked right into her hands. She had no reason to let him go. Percy was quickly captured. Just as Medusa prepared to use her deadly gaze, a speeding car suddenly slammed into her. The people inside were Annabeth and Grover. Medusa struggled to stand back up, but a phone on the ground distracted her, and in that brief second, Percy swung his sword. Medusa's head rolled to the ground instantly, and Percy finally obtained the first pearl. The three continued their journey. They arrived at the statue of Athena. The second pearl was embedded in the crown above. Using the flying shoes, Percy retrieved it easily, but before anyone could celebrate, several men suddenly appeared. They all demanded to know where the lightning bolt was. After hearing Percy's answer, black smoke burst from their bodies. The next second, they merged into a terrifying hydra. Flames exploded everywhere. Facing a monster like this, Percy charged forward without hesitation. His sword slashed repeatedly. One hydra head after another was cut off, but seconds later, new heads grew back instantly. The fire spread wildly. Percy tried blocking it with the shield, but the shield turned red-hot immediately. Just as the group was cornered, Percy's sea powers awakened again. He raised one hand, and every pipe nearby exploded at once. Massive streams of water gathered together, forming a giant wall of water. The hydra was stopped head-on, but Percy's powers were still incomplete. The flames eventually broke through the water wall. At the final moment, Grover pulled out Medusa's head. The deadly gaze activated instantly. No matter how powerful the hydra was, it still became a lifeless stone statue. Soon after, the group arrived at a casino in Las Vegas. After a dangerous chase, they finally obtained the last pearl. Not long later, they reached the entrance to the underworld, but the ferryman blocked their path. But after being bribed with ancient Greek gold coins, he agreed to take a few people across the river. Their true journey through hell finally began. The cries of countless spirits echoed around them. Even Percy felt chills down his spine. Not long later, they finally arrived at Hades' palace. But the moment they entered, they were then attacked by three hellhounds. At the critical moment, a stunning woman suddenly stepped in, and she was the queen of the underworld. Soon after, the group was brought before Hades, but seeing his rock star outfit, Grover could not believe this man was truly the lord of the underworld. Then the next second, Hades transformed into a demon-like form. The terrifying aura alone left Grover completely pale, but Hades did not care about him at all. All he wanted was the lightning bolt.
I'm not the lightning thief. I don't have the bolt.
Why did you come here then?
Well, I was hoping that when you saw that I wasn't the thief, you'd let my mother go.
You think I'm an idiot? I'm Hades! Now give me the bolt, or say goodbye to your mother!
Hades smashed the container holding Percy's mother, and seeing her alive again, Percy completely lost control. He dropped the shield and rushed forward to hug her, but no one expected the lightning bolt to be hidden inside the shield the entire time. Only then did everyone realize the truth. Everything had been Luke's plan from the beginning. He wanted to start a war between the gods, and profit from the chaos himself, but Hades did not care about the truth. Now that he had the lightning bolt, he planned to keep everyone trapped in the underworld forever. Just as death closed in, something shocking happened. The queen of the underworld suddenly stole the lightning bolt, then unleashed terrifying lightning herself. Hades never expected the one who betrayed him would be the person closest to him. The queen had already grown tired of the underworld. She only wanted to escape that dark place forever. She handed the lightning bolt to Percy, and told them to hurry to Mount Olympus, before the gods started their war. But looking at the three remaining pearls, everyone fell silent, because each pearl could only save one person. Someone had to stay behind.
I'm staying because I'm the protector. Grover, come on. Look, man, I don't want to hear it. Just go. It's my duty. It's what I'm meant for. We'll come back for you.
I'll take very good care of you.
Three crushed the pearls at the same time. Their bodies instantly turned into smoke, and escaped from the underworld. But there was less than 1 hour left before the gods went to war. As they rushed toward Mount Olympus, a familiar voice suddenly came from behind them. It was Luke. Now that his plan was exposed, he finally revealed himself. The battle began immediately, and the lightning bolt fell into Luke's hands once again, with the power of the weapon. Percy and the others were instantly pushed back. At the critical moment, the sleeping power inside Percy finally awakened completely. He slowly raised one hand, and a distant water tank exploded instantly. Massive waves surged together like living creatures. The moment Percy swung his arm downward, the giant wave swallowed Luke whole. Even with the lightning bolt, Luke could not resist. When the water finally faded, he was already completely defeated. but out of consideration for their past relationship, Percy did not kill him. At the same time, Mount Olympus stood on the edge of war. Zeus and Poseidon's forces were seconds away from battle. Just before everything spiraled out of control, Percy finally arrived in time. He returned the lightning bolt to Zeus himself, and revealed the truth behind everything. A war powerful enough to destroy the world was finally stopped. And to thank Percy, Zeus agreed to grant him one wish, but Percy asked for nothing for himself. His only wish was to bring back the friend who had risked everything beside him.